Welcome to Streaming News Network by Claude McDaniel. News without the hype and biased reporting. Please like and subscribe.
This is Claude McDaniel with Streaming News Network. A major federal funding dispute is drawing national attention to homelessness programs in Los Angeles and beyond. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development has announced the immediate suspension of more than $200 million in federal funding to the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority, known as LAHSA, while officials investigate allegations of fraud, waste, and mismanagement. LAHSA oversees one of the largest federally funded homelessness assistance systems in the nation. The agency has faced years of audits, complaints, warnings, and legal challenges. Federal reviews dating back more than 2 decades have cited concerns including inadequate oversight of grant recipients, questionable spending practices, and financial management problems. Local auditors have also raised concerns about reimbursement systems, data accuracy, accountability, and reporting methods. Critics say the agency has struggled to track how funds are spent and whether housing and services are being delivered as intended. The controversy has also sparked broader questions about transparency in homelessness programs nationwide. Similar concerns have emerged in other states, where lawmakers have sought greater oversight of federally funded homelessness initiatives. Federal officials say the funding suspension is part of a larger effort to strengthen accountability standards for programs receiving billions of dollars in homelessness assistance. This is Claude McDaniel for Streaming News Network. Residents of a South Carolina neighborhood got an unexpected visitor when a massive alligator wandered through a residential area and avoided capture for nearly 3 hours. The incident occurred on June 12 in the town of Somerville. Homeowner Amy Brandy recorded dramatic video showing the large reptile thrashing its tail, snapping its jaws, and moving across her front lawn as law enforcement officers and wildlife specialists worked to safely contain it. According to Brandy, neighbors began gathering outside after spotting the alligator. When she opened her front door to see what was causing the commotion, she found the giant reptile just outside her home. The situation became even more challenging when the alligator retreated beneath a vehicle in the driveway, forcing wildlife experts to carefully adjust their capture efforts while concerned residents watched from a distance. Video from the scene shows the alligator resisting as crews attempted to secure it. After several hours, wildlife specialists successfully captured the animal, restrained it, and removed it from the neighborhood without reported injuries. Brandy later shared the footage on social media, where it quickly attracted widespread attention and tens of thousands of reactions. She joked afterward that she had to explain to her children that the family would not be keeping their unexpected guest. This is Claude McDaniel for Streaming News Network. Authorities in Arizona have released a significant update in the ongoing investigation into the disappearance of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, the mother of television journalist Savannah Guthrie. Nancy Guthrie was reported missing after she failed to arrive at a friend's home on February 1. Investigators say her son-in-law, Tommaso Cioni, was the last known person to see her, dropping her off at her Tucson residence shortly before 10 o'clock on the evening of January 31. Security records indicate her garage door opened and closed within minutes after her arrival. The case has remained unsolved for more than 4 months, but investigators are now reviewing a new possible motive following what officials describe as a significant development. Recent reports have focused on a theory known as a wrench attack by proxy, in which criminals allegedly target individuals connected to those believed to possess valuable digital assets. Investigators are also examining reports that the case may involve a $6 million Bitcoin ransom demand, although authorities have not publicly confirmed details of any ransom communications. Pima County Sheriff Chris Nano says information related to the theory has been flagged for investigators and will be reviewed as part of the ongoing case. Officials continue to pursue multiple leads as the search for Nancy Guthrie remains active. No arrests have been announced, and authorities have not identified a suspect. This is Claude McDaniel for Streaming News Network. Late-night television host Jimmy Kimmel is facing criticism from some supporters of President Donald Trump following a joke made during a recent episode of his television program. The controversy began after a commentator at a recent Ultimate Fighting Championship event mistakenly referred to First Lady Melania Trump as First Lady Ivanka while acknowledging attendees at the event. During his monologue, Kimmel referenced the on-air mistake and joked, "The First Lady Ivanka? I guess somebody's birthday wish came true." The remark drew laughter from the studio audience but quickly generated criticism online. Some Trump supporters accused Kimmel of making an inappropriate joke involving the president and his daughter, Ivanka Trump, and renewed calls for his long-running program to be canceled. The incident highlights the continuing political divide surrounding late-night comedy, where jokes aimed at public figures frequently spark strong reactions from both supporters and critics. Neither Kimmel nor representatives for the show had publicly responded to the latest criticism at the time of this report. This is Claude McDaniel for Streaming News Network. Actress and former child star Davy Chase, best known for voicing Lilo in the Disney film Lilo and Stitch and portraying Samara Morgan in The Ring, has died at the age of 35. Her death was confirmed by her boyfriend, Roy Hernandez. According to reports, Chase died on June 16 following complications from meningitis and serious blood infections that led to sepsis and organ failure. She had reportedly been hospitalized earlier this month in Los Angeles after suffering from malnutrition. Chase rose to fame in 2002 when she voiced Lilo in Disney's animated hit and later reprised the role in television series, sequels, and video games. That same year, she gained widespread recognition for her chilling performance as Samara Morgan in The Ring, a role that earned her a Most Memorable Villain award from MTV. Throughout her career, she also appeared in productions including Big Love, Donnie Darko, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and ER. Her acting career largely ended after 2016. Friends say Chase faced significant personal challenges in recent years but remained remembered by fans for the memorable characters she brought to life on screen. This is Claude McDaniel of Streaming News Network. Federal prosecutors say 2 men have been charged in connection with the robbery and fatal shooting of a 24-year-old Bronx resident who was allegedly targeted for his valuable jewelry. Authorities allege that 25-year-old Welfie Espinal and 27-year-old Lennon Toribio used a GPS tracking device placed on Jeremy Ortega's vehicle without his knowledge. Investigators say the device allowed the suspects to monitor Ortega's movements and plan the robbery. According to court documents, Ortega had recently celebrated his 24th birthday and shared photos on social media showing expensive diamond jewelry. Prosecutors allege the suspects followed him from locations in Manhattan before waiting near his neighborhood in the Throgs Neck section of the Bronx. Investigators say that in the early morning hours of April 13, 2025, the pair chased Ortega as he returned home and opened fire, stealing a luxury bag containing jewelry before fleeing the scene. Ortega was later pronounced dead at a local hospital. Family members say the shooting occurred in front of Ortega's mother, who witnessed the attack and rushed to help her son. Authorities allege the suspects fled the area and took steps to avoid detection. Espinal was arrested in New Jersey, while Toribio remains the subject of an active search. Both men face federal charges including interstate stalking resulting in death and conspiracy to commit interstate stalking resulting in death. As with all criminal cases, the charges are allegations, and the defendants are presumed innocent unless proven guilty in court. This is Claude McDaniel with Streaming News Network. Convicted Gilgo Beach serial killer Rex Heuermann addressed a courtroom for the first time since his arrest, accepting responsibility during his sentencing hearing on Wednesday. Heuermann told the court, "I am responsible," and offered an apology before family members of the victims responded with anger and disbelief. The 63-year-old former architect was sentenced to multiple life terms after pleading guilty to the murders of 7 women and accepting responsibility for an 8th victim. Prosecutors said the killings occurred over a period spanning nearly 2 decades, from the early 1990s through 2010, and were linked to the notorious Gilgo Beach serial killings investigation on Long Island, New York. During the hearing, relatives of the victims delivered emotional impact statements, describing years of grief, uncertainty, and trauma caused by the murders. Several family members directly confronted Heuermann, condemning his actions and detailing the lasting impact on their lives. Among those remembered were Sandra Costilla, Valerie Mack, Jessica Taylor, Maureen Brainerd Barnes, Melissa Barthelemy, Megan Waterman, Amber Costello, and Karen Vergata. The sentencing brings a major chapter of the long-running Gilgo Beach investigation to a close, though many families say the pain of their losses will remain. This is Claude McDaniel with Streaming News Network. Federal prosecutors have announced charges against 15 individuals accused of participating in a coordinated effort to obstruct immigration and customs enforcement operations in Minneapolis. According to a federal indictment, the defendants are alleged members or associates of activist groups linked to a network known as Direct Action Minnesota. Prosecutors claim the group organized actions intended to interfere with federal immigration enforcement activities and the movement of federal officers. Authorities allege the organization conducted planning meetings, surveillance activities, and coordinated demonstrations that escalated into confrontations with law enforcement. Investigators say some participants used vehicles and other obstacles to block access routes around a federal facility used by the Department of Homeland Security. The indictment also alleges that some individuals used homemade shields and other equipment during demonstrations to resist crowd control efforts and obstruct federal operations. Among the charges are conspiracy to impede or injure federal officers, interstate stalking, destruction of government property, solicitation to commit a crime of violence, and related offenses. Federal officials described the organization as highly structured and accused it of training members in tactics designed to disrupt law enforcement activities. Prosecutors also allege that some defendants followed federal officers outside the workplace, including across state lines. The defendants have been charged but not convicted. As with all criminal cases, they are presumed innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law. This is Claude McDaniel with Streaming News Network. New details have emerged in the death of Grammy-winning songwriter and performer Talay Riley, whose legal name was Mark Orabii. An opening inquest hearing in East London was told that the 35-year-old musician died from sharp force injuries to his torso. Authorities were called to a property in the Silvertown area of East London on June 5 following reports of a stabbing. Orabii was pronounced dead at the scene. A post-mortem examination determined that the fatal injuries were caused by a sharp instrument that struck either the chest or abdomen. Police said a second victim, a man in his 20s, also suffered multiple stab wounds but is expected to survive. 3 individuals were initially arrested in connection with the investigation. Authorities say a 27-year-old man has been released on bail pending further inquiries, while a 24-year-old man and a 25-year-old woman were released with no further action. Coroner Nadia Persad told the court that the inquest will remain under review while the criminal investigation continues. A future review hearing is expected in approximately 3 months. Talay Riley was known for writing and collaborating on music with artists including Dua Lipa, Jessie J, and Usher. Family members and fellow musicians have paid tribute, remembering him for his talent, kindness, and positive spirit.
Thank you for listening to Streaming News Network videos and shorts. Please like and subscribe to our news channel.